At first glance, the hospital seemed like an ordinary place where people went to heal their bodies and souls. But for Emily Collins, the night shift nurse, it became an arena for dark forces that penetrated the depths of her being. Lately, Emily had begun to feel like someone was watching her. They were just the faintest shadows, flickering in her peripheral vision, or whispers in the dark corners of empty corridors. It all started when she noticed strange tracks on the floor, as if someone barefoot had been wandering through the hospital, leaving behind mysterious footprints. There were nights when Emily felt the air in the ward constricting into a vortex of darkness, and something cold and ominous slithering over her skin. But she always pretended everything was fine. She was a nurse, she had to be strong. One night, while she was on the ward, she heard a rustling sound coming from one of the closed cabinets. Unable to contain her curiosity, she approached and slowly opened the door. Inside, there was nothing but medical equipment and syringes. She laughed at her nerves and closed the cabinet, but the moment lingered in her mind. The longer this sense of presence persisted, the more Emily began to doubt her sanity. She hid her fears behind a smile and caring for the patients, but inside she felt something dark creeping towards her, engulfing her world in shadows. One day, as she was returning home after a long night shift, she felt like someone was following her. She glanced around, but there was no one in sight. Her steps quickened, but the shadow remained with her, a harbinger of impending doom. Soon after that incident, Emily started noticing her personal belongings being moved around. Car keys, her phone, even her pocket mirror, they all disappeared for a moment, only to reappear in unexpected places. She was sure none of her colleagues would dare play such tricks on her. She felt it was something more. With each passing day, Emily grew weaker. She began waking up at night from nightmares that felt too real. Terrifying visions haunted her even in her waking hours, making her doubt her sanity. She decided to turn to her supervisor, hoping he would help her make sense of the situation. But when she entered his office, she saw horror frozen on his face. "You see it too?" he whispered, pointing at the shadow looming around them. Fear gripped Emily as she realized she was not alone in this nightmare. Something sinister and ominous enveloped the hospital, feeding on the fear and despair of everyone here. In that moment, Emily understood she needed to take action. She began to delve into the hospital's past, digging through old archives and papers. And there, among the dusty documents, she found an old record of a patient who disappeared without a trace many years ago. His name was crossed out of the lists, as if he had never existed. Emily realized this was the key to the mystery. She started questioning old staff members, piecing together fragments of the puzzle, trying to understand what was happening in this cursed place. And slowly she began to uncover the horrifying truth. In the past, the hospital had been a site of experiments and secret research conducted under the cover of the night. Patients vanished without a trace, their names erased from memory, while malevolent entities, unleashed by inhuman experiments, roamed the corridors of the hospital, seeking new victims. Emily found herself at the heart of this nightmare, her only goal to survive and uncover the truth. She began to talk to long-term patients, hoping to extract evidence and clues from them. But those who remained were too frightened to speak, and those who had left struggled to recall their terrifying memories, often adding confusion to their stories. However, Emily refused to give up. She continued to sift through documents, explore archives, and trace the trails left behind over the years of the hospital's existence. All her efforts led her to one horrifying discovery. The hospital was built on the site of an ancient cemetery, and the buildings delved deep into the earth. Not only the foundations, but also the souls of those buried here centuries ago. Remembering the feeling of being watched and the ominous shadows, Emily realized she was being observed not by mere living beings, but by something much more terrifying and powerful. These were spirits, lingering in the depths of her being, seeking vengeance for their loss. Now Emily understood she had to confront these dark forces before they consumed her. She began to study ancient rituals and mystical practices, trying to find a way to release the souls of the dead and bring them peace. But every step was hindered by nightmares haunting her and shadows lurking in every corner of the hospital. Finally, the decisive moment came. Emily gathered all her strength and entered the heart of darkness. There, in the empty corridor, she performed the ancient ritual and began to summon the souls of the dead. Her voice sounded like a prayer, filled with power and desperation, and suddenly, strange tingling filled the air around her. The spirits began to appear, their ominous figures dissipating in the darkness. But Emily was not afraid. She continued to summon them, begging for forgiveness and peace. And gradually, under her persistent prayers, the shadows began to fade, and a bright glow surrounded her. As the last shadow dissolved into the air, Emily felt something warm and soothing enveloping her. The souls of the dead departed this world, and the hospital was finally freed from the ominous presence. Emily stepped out of the hospital, feeling exhausted but free. She realized it was her destiny to confront the darkness that penetrated the depths of her being and bring light to this world of darkness and evil. And now, as she looked up at the starry sky above her, she knew she would never fear the darkness, for inside her burned a light stronger than any darkness.